In case you are a regal, you got to have a royal residence to back up your title, right? Well, Middle Easterner royals do not hold back. A Saudi crown prince has presently bought the foremost costly domestic home in the world. It's time for your regal tour of how Middle Eastern rich people spend their cash and the sumptuous houses where they lay their heads at night. Let's start with Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, part of the Saudi regal family, as he is the nephew of the late King Abdullah, and his net worth is assessed at $19 billion, making him one of the richest people within the world. He's certainly the wealthiest individual in Saudi Arabia and one of the wealthiest within the Middle East. So you know his home must be extraordinary, or ought to be. Al-Walid has 3 palaces. 2 are already in existence, and a third is currently in development in the central Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He lives in a 250,000 square foot royal residence known as the Kingdom Royal Residence, including 317 rooms fitted with Italian marble, silk oriental carpets, gold-plated fixtures, and 250 TV. And it is esteemed at $130 million. The royal residence has individual chefs who brag they can feed 2,000 individuals inside a given hour of notification, and work in 4 distinctive kitchens: 1 for Middle Eastern food, 1 for continental, 1 for Asian cooking, and a 5th for sweets. Visitors can unwind within the lagoon-shaped pool and watch a motion picture within the 45-seat cinema that's found within the storm cellar. The street leading to the royal residence is named after the man himself, Prince Talal, and the compound highlights 3 open-air pools and an expansive indoor swimming pool. There are a few diverse buildings on the estate, including a mosque. The other royal residence I had mentioned prior is a 500,000 square foot kingdom resort. It features 3 lakes and gardens and is where he ordinarily engages his guests. It's like his private individual hotel. Entertain his guests, such as his Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, Bill Gates, parliamentary delegates from around the world, and other VIPs. Kingdom Oasis is still under construction, and it's intending to be a 4 million square foot palace. It plans to be an extravagance resort that will include a private zoo and a 70,000 square meter lake. And did I specify he bought a castle as well? That is correct, the castle of Castanito on the hills of Italy. The prince bought this house in 2009, and every time he visits southern Europe, he stays in this aesthetic house that is situated in a cozy neighborhood in Turin. A house of this measure possesses 21,528 square feet of land, which is the equivalent of 173 acres. There are a few plantations, vegetable gardens, flower overhangs, as well as a vintage greenhouse on the tremendous property. Al-Walid owns a coasting royal residence, as well, in the form of an 85.9-meter yacht called Kingdom 5KR. And it is the 65th biggest private yacht in the world, which was originally built for the Saudi arms merchant Adnan Khashoggi in 1979. And it was indeed in a Bond motion picture, and never say never. Once more, it shows up as a yacht owned by James Bond's lowlife Largo. Donald Trump, moreover, claimed it once as well, but he ran into some well-publicized financial issues within the late 1980s and sold it to the prince. It contains a disco, cinema, helipad, pool, guest rooms, and all the other luxuries one can envision. From the oceans to the sky, he too claims a few flying machines converted for private use, such as a Boeing 747, an Airbus 380, and a Hawker Siddeley 125. The Boeing 747 is prepared with a position of royalty, 2 bedrooms, and an eating table with 14 seats. Apparently, each team member and flight attendant is from a different country. He likes his assortment, I suppose. The Airbus comes with a Turkish bath, a concert corridor, an executive boardroom with visualizations, and a garage for his Rolls-Royce. So where does the money come from? Well, His Eminence, but some of his resources incorporate a 95% stake in Kingdom Holding Company, 91% of Rotana Video and Sound Visual Company, 90% of the Lebanese Broadcasting Corporation, about 6% of Citigroup, and in 2011, he procured a $300 million stake in Twitter. A Middle Eastern prince that bought the world's most expensive home in the world was Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the home is the Chateau Louis Groen 14. It was acquired for over $300 million, and it is based on 17th-century French castles, but it was built close Versailles between 2008 and 2011. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is beneficiary to the Saudi throne. On the off chance that you're lucky sufficient to urge welcomes, you won't want to miss ogling at the marble statues, a supported maze set in 57 acres of scene stop, and a gold leaf fountain. Gold is a common theme throughout the luxurious royal residence. The fountains, sounds, framework lights, and air conditioning are all controlled by his iPhone. The contemplation room or chilling room of Chateau Louis XIV is one of its most remarkable highlights. The aquarium features a see-through underwater chamber where sturgeons and koi swim. The 57-acre grounds are moreover domestic to a statue of Louis XIV made of costly Carrara marble. The property has 10 suites, a 52-foot-tall painted dome ceiling within the gathering room, a library, and land a 3,000-bottle wine cellar sufficient to toast his football group Newcastle. This hotel has an indoor pool and an outdoor pool, a private cinema, a squash court, 2 ballrooms, and a club. The prince isn't one to brag either. When bin Salman bought the Chateau Louis XIV, he wanted no one to know about it, and he utilized shell companies in France and Luxembourg to try and conceal the purchase. He might need to be undercover, but he isn't perplexed to spend his other luxurious buys, such as a $500 million 440-foot super yacht and a $450 million Leonardo da Vinci portrait, to the Scottish Highlands to check out Environate Lodge, owned by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, ruler of Dubai, Prime Minister and a Vice President of the United Arab Emirates. The 71-year ancient sheikh, who has had 6 spouses and up to 30 children and an estimated worth of $18 billion. The estate has a 14-bed manor house and a 16-bed guest house. This luxurious hunting lodge has a swimming pool and gym. Prince has added a few additions to the Highland home. The massive lodge is undergoing improvements to this day, as the sheikh plans to build 4 helipads behind the walled garden so he can transport his guests to the remote Highland estate easily. A swimming pool, gym, and leisure facilities are also included in this new modern hunting lodge located near one of Scotland's most famous landmarks, Island Castle, and it sits on a 63-acre estate. Every summer he and his family visit the estate, but locals say he's rarely there. Must be pleasant. To London to check out the Sheikh Shack of Hamad bin Abdullah Al Thani. This is the Qatari sheikh who chose to re-establish this 44,000 square foot townhouse in London, England. Over the decades, numerous historic London chateaux of the British elite have been torn down for newer developments, but since of Hamad, the Dudley House stands today. This is one of the few surviving aristocratic townhouses in London at 100 Park Lane, which is typically one of Britain's most expensive private homes. The craftsmanship and antiques within the house are worth millions, but the home has an estimated esteem of $400 million. As a member of Qatar's illustrious family, His Highness Sheikh Hamad leads a calm life compared to other Middle Eastern royals. This home has always been a popular venue for London's elite, including Queen Elizabeth II, who said this place makes Buckingham Palace look rather dull. She may be right. To the Tangiers compound in Tangier, Morocco, where King Solomon of Saudi Arabia loves to hang out, known as the Saudi ruler's favorite hideaway. The expansive complex is surrounded by 1,500 meters of walls and has its own medical facilities and is equipped with a state-of-the-art restaurant kitchen. This massive oceanfront compound in Tangier is heavily guarded and manned by more than 30 Moroccan royal guards. It has 2 helipads, multiple buildings, and a massive tent that was added to the retreat over the last year. Back to London. We go to visit Chika Moza, as he bought 3 adjoining homes in London for £191 million in 2014. 3 properties of the Qatar royal family have been combined into one mega mansion, 1, 2, and 3 Cornwall Terrace. Qatar's regal family presently claims more property in London than the regal family of Britain due to the expansion of this mega mansion, with an inexact estimate of £313 million. This can be one of London's most expensive homes. This gigantic mansion was planned by Decimus Burton, the protege of John Nash, the modeler of Buckingham Royal Residence. The 33,000 square foot mansion has 13 rooms, a spa, heated swimming pool, beauty salon, a children's floor, diversions room, powder rooms, massage areas, 2 elevators, and a gymnasium. Kitchen seats are warmed within the winter, and within the summer sensational lighting creates the figment of a dance floor in the gardens. A cigar room and wine cave are available for all visitors, as well as a gigantic amount of rooms to select from. An iPad controls the lights. whereas staff members live in partitioned quarters in the building. This is enormous, but he has 3 spouses who have created more than 20 children, so an enormous house is in order. He includes a fortune of £1.5 billion so he can manage it. In expansion to the warmed swimming pool and exercise center on the lower ground floor, which is isolated by a glass divider to form a dream of space. Bathrooms get a minimum of 3 deliberate air changes per hour, and each room's temperature can be customized, apparently for the family. 23 degrees Celsius is the ideal temperature in the living areas, 22 degrees Celsius in the bedrooms, and 25 to 30 degrees Celsius in the pool areas. I keep my home's temp at 18 Celsius all the time. I'm sure my girlfriend freezes to death, but do you know the price of energy has gone up? One place where AC is a must is LA, and one of the most exclusive LA gated communities is Beverly Park. It's home to Prince Turki bin Nazar, but he's trying to sell it for $39.95 million. Around 70 estates surround the prince's compound in the mountains above Beverly Hills. These properties range from 8,000 square feet to 30,000 square feet, and you can guess Prince Turki has the biggest property in the most exclusive neighborhood. They share their neighborhood with Denzel Washington, Eddie Murphy, and Mark Wahlberg, all of whom own properties in the zone. In both properties, there are 49 washrooms, 14 rooms, and 22 bathrooms within the primary house. The insides are all marble, gold, and parquet. There's a 4,000 square foot living area. The master suite and a dining room can situate 35 individuals. The living room incorporates a chimney and French doors that lead to the terrace. Views of Beverly slopes and the swimming pool are accessible from the balconies. There are also smaller visitor houses and staff quarters adjacent, measuring 3,000 square feet and 14,000 square feet, respectively. There are 8 bedrooms and 17 showers in both these properties. This Beverly Slopes compound is worth $145 million and is possessed by a business associated with the late Saudi Prince Saud Al Faisal. Set on generally 14 sections of land, the grounds include more than 35,000 square feet of interior space, which may well be combined from numerous structures. Exteriorly, there are 3 tree-lined promenades, a pool, and a tennis court. There's an entryway with a retractable roof. It contains a spectacular private carport, and up from there you can see the sea all the way to Catalina Island. In conclusion, let's go to Tehran in Iran. A palatial estate nestled against the Alborz Mountains, a place no Iranian would ever dream of visiting at the time, but not any longer. The entrance charge nowadays could be a simple $1. On a 27-section of land plot, the Nayavaran Royal Residence is a complex of houses in which one can marvel at the extravagances the Shah enjoyed during his rule as Iran's ruler for nearly 4 decades. The compound dates back to Iran's Qajar dynasty in the 1800s, when the monarchy chose to build a summer palace on the mountainside as Tehran grew during its oil boom of the 1960s. The Shah's third wife, Queen Farah, had been an architecture student. She spent millions of dollars renovating the compound's palaces. One of the wings of the palace became a private art gallery of pieces she purchased around the world. The Royal Library Museum is also another site to see. The interior design with the modern architecture of the time is unique. Finally, you're going to want to check out the green space of the complex. You can visit the Inscription Garden Museum. Also, Darband and Darakeh are great natural attractions near the complex. In case you're arranging to visit Iran in the winter, you'll be able to do some skiing and other winter exercises. The Shah was known to walk around the grounds or speed along the streets in one of his numerous sports cars. A pilot as well, he'd fly helicopters in and out, staying off the roads as pressures rose. All the investing and long circulating rumors of theft encompassing the Pahlavi dynasty made fuel the anger against the monarchy. In 1979, the pressure became terrible for the Shah, and he fled the royal residence for the final time by helicopter. So, the complex is open to visitors today, so they can walk the lobbies of the Shah's previous inhabitants and indeed see the clothes and things he left behind. The dress uniform of the Shah, complete with a ceremonial sword sheath, stands on a headless mannequin in one room. The Shah and his queen are also portrayed in 2 paintings. The cars housed in another building within the complex are 3 Rolls-Royces, 5 Mercedes-Benz, 6 cruisers, and indeed a snowmobile. According to Forbes, there are 22 Middle Eastern's very rich people around the world, which is good news to the wealthiest, since these homes are unquestionably commendable of our attention. Next video will be mega mansions in Africa. Stay tuned and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn the notification button on.